It is useless for the sheep to pass resolutions of vegetarianism, while the wolf remains of a different opinion. That quote by a 19th century Anglican priest is weighing heavy in the 21st century, as adversaries across the world watch an abrupt reversal of U.S. foreign policy take shape. On Wednesday, while headlines blared the new president's intention to withdraw all U.S. troops from Afghanistan on September 11th, Iran announced its intention to begin processing uranium at 60%, a huge leap from the 20% it had been processing. It approaches a 90% enrichment that would constitute weapons grade. The news met with a tepid response from Secretary of State Anthony Blinken.
I have to tell you, the step calls into question Iran's seriousness with regard to the nuclear talks, just as it underscores the imperative of returning to mutual compliance with the JCPOA.
Iran's announcement follows the Biden administration's decision on February 18th to rescind the tough Trump administration sanctions on Iran, sanctions that one respected analyst said in 2019 were working.
Well, the overall sanctions are really taking its toll, and the administration is tightening the noose. As you know, announcing sanctions is one thing, enforcing them is quite another. And that's what's happening here, and that's why the economy is being crippled.
Keane maintains the sanctions deprived Iran's supreme leader of money that had funded decades of Iran's terrorist activities worldwide, from blowing up the U.S. Marine barracks in Lebanon in 1983, the KHOBAR towers in Saudi Arabia in 1996, to 600 U.S. dead in Iraq from Iran-made IEDs, to the continuing civil wars in Syria and Yemen.
Okay, I think as many of you know, today is International Transgender Day of Visibility.
On March 31st of this year, as China was making near daily threatening incursions over Taiwan airspace, the U.S. military was prioritizing transgender rights. While on February 19th, the Secretary of Defense ordered a one-day stand-down of all military units to address domestic extremism in the ranks.
You know, I've seen this before. I've lived through it as a soldier and as a commander. It's not new to our country, and sadly, it's not new to our military.
The stand-down may have been valid after the storming of the Capitol, but for adversaries like China, it may have sent a signal of weakness at a time when the U.S.'s frontline F-35 fighter, already plagued with problems, is proving more than twice as costly to fly at $44,000 per hour as other U.S. fighters. A time when some sailors, well trained in sexual harassment seminars, are not trained enough to keep multi-billion-dollar ships from running into one another. With massive planned spending on creative interpretations of infrastructure, some fear a lack of military spending will cause a loss of competitive edge if it has not already happened.
In the Indo-Pacific region, the United States military is outgunned. We have gone through significant erosion of our capability because of the priority of the 9/11 wars and the reduced defense budgets largely during the Obama administration. As such, we are outgunned in that region. The Chinese have more ships, more airplanes, and an incredible amount of offensive conventional missiles, the largest arsenal on the planet. And we're not hyping the enemy here, as sometimes people in the Defense Department get accused of doing. This is a serious threat, and we have to pay attention to it.
It was Keane, along with others, who convinced President Trump to reconsider a total pullout of U.S. troops from Afghanistan. The same voices are speaking up against President Biden's decision to do the same. But with total Democratic Party control of government, they have less sway.
President Biden, unfortunately, has chosen the highest risk option available, which is to leave no matter what.
Early Thursday morning, President Biden signed an executive order declaring a national emergency over threats from Russia and expelled 10 Russian officials. That in retaliation for Russia's hacking into U.S. computer systems, for bounties on U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan, and for attempts to interfere in U.S. elections. Still, as if to confirm that 19th century Anglican priest's warning, the low-scale war between Russia and Ukraine shows signs of ramping up, as Russia has moved dozens of tanks and artillery pieces to the border, while on the other side of the world, Kim Jong-un has again been firing off short-range missiles. The wolves are salivating. Doug McKelway for the Washington Examiner.